Let's bring in Aaron Rafferty. He is CEO at the technology consultancy Standard Dow. He joins us from Irvine, California. Thank you very much for being on Al Jazeera. I guess, first of all, do you agree with Altman that it is critical that government intervene?
Thanks for having me, Tim. And absolutely, we're at a critical juncture in the release cycle of these large language models, where, especially with the U.S. elections coming up in 2024, if we don't get this right, then we could have a far worse repeat of the 2016 elections with Facebook and Cambridge Analytica and the data breaches that we saw there.
Altman spoke about the impact that it could have on democracy as a whole, but also leading up to the elections next year. I mean, time is pretty critical here. What do you think that can be done between now and then?
Yeah, so this isn't that much different than the advent of the internet and the mass adoption of it in the early 2000s. And what the government and really a lot of the regulators missed the boat on was regulating it to a degree so that personal information would be protected. And right now, the opportunity is to actually protect that personal information, make it transparent so that we actually know what these models are doing. And in doing that, we're going to be able to have more control over how these models are developing, especially when they're using personal information and exacerbating the misinformation age that we've been having for the last 5 or so years.
I mean, as the development of AI explodes, as we've seen just over the last couple of months, I mean, how time critical is this? We know that government obviously moves really slowly at the best of times, and AI feels like it's getting out of control. I mean, has that horse already bolted here?
Yeah, so I think it was March that they had a call for a 6-month moratorium on the continued development of specifically GPT-4 because of the implications. And obviously we're in May now, and the big implication is that if we don't get this right by the end of the year, the election cycle for the US could be really blown out of proportions. We could see major polarization in a degree that we haven't seen before. And if we don't get it right by that time, then we've really started to lose that boat.
Okay, thank you so much for your insight. That is Aaron Rafferty, CEO at the technology consultancy Standard Dow. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.